Our next guest here on the Morning Run played 10 seasons in the major leagues with the Royals, the Mets, the Cubs, the Rockies, and the Blue Jays. And these days, he's back north of the border in Canada, this time coaching a West Coast League team called the Victoria Harbor Cats. Brian McRae, good friend of the show here on 120 Sports in the Morning Run, back with us here on the show. Hey, B-Mac, how are you today?
I'm good, Michael. And yourself? Everything going well with you?
Yeah, everything's great here. Good to see that you're up there and continuing your career in baseball, and now you're a part of this West Coast League. For our viewers who may not be familiar, what is it?
The West Coast League is for college players that still have eligibility left to come play. It's a wood bat league. They come play in the summer and get better, and the big thing is it's like a minor league season, so they're playing every day, and they're getting used to what it will be if they do play pro ball. And they get to find out that, playing every day is a lot different than playing 3-4 days a week like they do in college. They have a lot of scouts, pro scouts that are following them and watch them in these games. And it's just a different atmosphere than school ball because they don't have to worry about going to class or any of that kind of stuff. It's baseball only. And it's something that I enjoy doing. This is the third team that I've managed in the summers in different summer leagues, and it's a good spot here in Victoria, British Columbia.
Oh, nice. Beautiful area there. Give us an idea. What kind of a caliber of player are we talking about in this league?
Well, we'll probably, with the draft coming up this week, we'll probably have 2 or 3 guys on this team that'll be drafted in the Major League Baseball draft. All over the league, there'll probably be 20 to 30 players drafted. So you're seeing a high caliber of college player that is playing in this league, guys that have a chance to go on and play pro ball. And, there's a lot of alumni from the West Coast League that are playing in the big leagues. Chris Davis, slugger with the Baltimore Orioles, he's alumni of this league. And there's a few other guys that are on the fence of getting to the big leagues. And so it's a league that's comparable to, a lot of people on the East Coast have heard of the Cape Cod League,
sure,
where some of the top players go and play. This is comparable, maybe just a notch below the Cape Cod League, but this is mostly for West Coast players.
Okay. I don't know if this next player that we're going to talk about will have a chance to play in professional baseball, but who knows? Last week, Claire Eccles, one of your pitchers, made baseball history as she came in. That's right, she came in as a relief pitcher, and she's a left-handed knuckleballer. What are your thoughts on her talents and her abilities?
Well, Claire's knuckleball is pretty good, and not just for a girl. It's a good knuckleball, and she's played fast pitch. The women in Canada play baseball. They don't play a whole lot of softball. So they play growing up. They play hardball. They play baseball with the boys. So it's not uncommon to see them playing in some of the men's leagues as they get older. Claire's played with boys her whole life. She learned a knuckleball, and it took off. And she had an opportunity to sign with us and play with us in the summer. And we're going to give her a shot, just like we give all the other guys that are here, to compete for innings. And she threw in the game last Wednesday, and she's going to start for us next Sunday in a ball game, and we'll see where it goes from there.
Wow. So what's that been like for you? I don't know how many times you've had to coach female players, women players. Is that different for you?
No, I never. This is the first for me.
Yeah.
I have a 10-year-old daughter that I have to deal with every now and then that I don't know how to handle. But Claire's been fine. She fits in.
Uh-huh.
She went to UBC, University of British Columbia, and there's 6 guys on our team from UBC. So she knows them from going to school with them and has fit in well. And it's been kind of cool having her around.
Why aren't there more lefties as knuckleballers?
That's a good question, because it shouldn't make a difference if they're righty or lefty if they can throw the knuckleball. But I guess since there's more right-handed people try to throw knuckleball, and lefties don't have to throw as hard to get guys out. So lefties usually don't worry about. I don't know. That's a good question.
Let's just ask this in light of the Major League Baseball draft that's going on, and we're talking about the draft. What are the chances that she might be able to play pro ball?
Well, I don't think maybe independent ball, something like that, she may be able to to play. She's 18, I think, 18 or 19, so she's still got to get a little bit stronger, add some miles an hour to her fastball. We think that she could throw 80 miles an hour if we cleaned up her mechanics and and got her to use her lower body a little bit better. Her fastball tops out about 71 to 72 miles an hour right now, and her knuckleball is in the 60s, mid-60s or so. But we think there's more there that can get her to throw a little bit harder and to be a little bit more effective.
Overall, though, what is your stance, and how do you see women perhaps playing pro ball down the road? Maybe not Claire, but somebody after her.
Well, I think that having people like Claire come in and show everybody out there that it's not a publicity stunt, that she's getting an opportunity because she can, she has a chance to be successful and can help us. I think in turn that empowers other girls to look at this and say, that's something that I may want to do, and encourage them to get out there and work on their game. And I think you may see more and more women trying to play baseball, and pitching is about the only thing I think that if a woman were to be able to play pro ball where they could compete with the males would be on the mound.
All right, not just Claire, but for all your players, as a former major leaguer, what are some of the key lessons that you're trying to impart on these kids?
Just consistency and being level-headed with the long schedule, the travel. We're in a stretch right now where we're playing 24 games out of 26 days, and just how to take care of yourself over the long haul, and make sure you get your rest and make sure your work is consistent and don't get too high or too low. This is a grind, and they've already played a long season in college, and now they're playing a long season here, and just getting them prepared for, day in and day out what they have to do to get their mind and body ready to perform.
And I know I was asking you about what advice you're giving to your players. What about your advice that you're receiving from your father, also a former major leaguer and former major league manager?
Just, get to know your players as soon as possible, because in a situation like this, we have two halves of a season. It's a 54-game season. You have two halves, and you have players coming in and out at different points during the season because their school wants them to go, or their school just got done playing. So, and they get to you late. So he just said, the big key here is make sure that you know your personnel, get everybody together early, because the first half of the season, we're 10 games in. It's 27-game season. 27-game season. In the first half, we need to get it together as soon as possible. This isn't like a regular season where you can ease your way into it. So, those are some of the things that my dad helped me out with a little bit, just kind of, just what to do with the guys and how to get acclimated with 25 to 30 different guys in a short period of time. We only had one practice before our first game.
Wow. Okay. So, BMAC, where do you hope this leads you to?
Well, I'm almost done with my schooling. So I this past spring I was at Mizzou, and I'm just hoping that once I get done with my school and doing things like I've done the last few summers like this, that it opens up an opportunity if a full-time coaching position came at the D1 level, that I could interview for it, and I'd have all the qualifications and all the things that I'd meet all the needs that the coach would like. And that's my goal down the road, is just to coach at the college level somewhere.
All right. Well, Brian, of course, you have our support. We're hoping for the best for you, whatever you decide to do there. And, keep us posted on what's going on there with not only Claire, but the rest of your players there and the Victoria Harbor Cats of the West Coast League. All right?
I will do that, Michael. Thank you very much.